Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. So I'm really excited for this one because we're back with the mighty AU Falcon, the drift car that we've been building for the last probably 2 years almost. Sorry if there's flicking lights in the garage, I'm going to turn them off in a second, but it's a bit dark in here. Here's the beast. We haven't touched it for a while, and yeah, we're going to give her some love. So for all of you that don't know, this is my 2001 AU Falcon Futura. We turned it into a full drift car, and my God, it's so dark. All the rear's been gutted. I'm actually going to take out a majority of the rest of the interior still in here, like all the headlining and everything like that. And I'm literally just going to leave the front two door cards, the dash and the seats. That's it. There's a reason I'm just showing the back of the car, because in this video, we're going to be giving it a bit of a makeover. And hopefully by the time we finished, we're going to have stickers done, because the last video we did was the livery on this car. We did the green-eyed monster livery. That was awesome. So my dad mastered it all up and painted it, and we did it together, and it was a freaking awesome father-son project. So coming down to this side, we've put a new sort of muffler tip on it, so it looks a bit nicer. And in this video, we're pretty much going to be finishing the front end, because I've taken off the Fairlane bar. You can probably see there's another front bar on it right now. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to get the stickers made up so we can finish doing all the decals for the Craig Lowndes car. So we're going to gut the rest of the interior, and I've also brought plugs and leads and everything for it because we have a bit of a breakup issue. So we're going to be doing all that. Also in the back here, I have started to collect parts for dual calipers. So I've got 2 rear calipers and 2 backing plates, so we can make our own dual caliper setup, and finally have some twin calipers in the back and then have a hydro. So I want to get that all done, bolted up, welded, all that stuff. That way we can do all of our hard lines and braided lines, hydro and everything later. What I want to show you at the front is I've gone for a little bit of a different style than what people usually go with the Fairlane fronts. So everyone usually goes with the chaser front bar, but a lot of the AUs actually go with R33 Skyline bars, and that's what I've decided to go with. And I want to show you how this looks, guys, because I reckon it looks really fat. So I'm going to pan the camera this way, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. Does this look nice and aggressive? All right, ready? So I've decided to go for the Nismo 400R front bar, and I found these on Marketplace after looking so long for chaser bars. They weren't popping up, and I wanted something really aggressive, and this popped up, and it was for like 350 bucks, I can't remember. But I messaged the guy, and he actually recognized my name straight away, knew who I was, which was awesome, and wanted to give me this for free. And I couldn't let that happen, so I had to give him some money for it. But huge shout out to Ryan. Thank you so much for this bar. It was awesome to meet you on Marketplace, so shout out to you, legend. Good luck with your cars. He's got awesome car collection. As you can see with the bar, we've got it pushed back as far as we can, and you can see how much we've got to chop off here. Now, I've only got a grinder, I haven't got a Dremel. This is all fiberglass, by the way. It is a 400R front bar replica, and it even comes with the lights too. So I'm actually going to tint these green, and it's going to look pretty sick with the green-eyed monster when we do the halos in the Fairlane headlights. So with this, I'm probably going to have to literally slice it all the way up to the vent right here, so it follows the arch line, because right now it's touching the tire on both sides, and we still actually have a bit of it protruding out where the grill is here. And I want to try and just get this gap under the headlights to limit a little bit. Now coming around to the other side, same thing. It's sort of pushed back, but right here it's hitting the tire, so I've got to slice it as much as I can. And now it is getting stuck sort of on the guard here as well, so I'm going to slice a little bit under the guard just so it tucks in a little bit nicer. Now one thing I have ordered as well for the car is, I bought these like 2 weeks ago, they still haven't come in the mail, but I've got the drift fasteners that go from here to here with the bungee cord, so we can actually have the bar on. So at first glance you'll be like, oh, it's R33 coming, and then you're like, hang on a minute, that's an R33 order from Wish. So yeah, but I'm excited to do this, and then once we have it the body color, we'll do the black stripes continuing across here just like the rest of the livery, and then in the middle here in between the 2 grills we're gonna have the white Falcon sticker. So it's gonna look really nice. I can't wait. I'm actually really like the way this looks. Yeah, it looks really aggressive. I'm gonna have to jack the front of the car up a little bit because it is so low to the ground. So I'm probably gonna go up maybe ½ inch or an inch, so full D1 style. So I've got a bag of contents over here that I've just brought from the guys at Autobahn. Thank you, Autobahn Epping. And I've also went and got a bonnet pin kit. So I'm gonna be installing that as well in the Fairlane front bonnet. So it's gonna go somewhere here and then into the rad support. So that's gonna be, never installed these before, so that's gonna be a first. Now I also bought some stuff for my other race car I'm building, a little Bonnet, but I brought some plugs for the AU because this has a breakup. And I bought some leads, so new leads as well. Top Gun, fantastic. So give it a little bit of a happy birthday. So I think first thing we'll do in this video, I'm gonna start slicing the bar and getting it a little bit more tightly fitted on the car, so we don't have a gap like this. So it just pushes back enough where we fill this gap and get it nice and flush on the wheel arch there. Once I get that done, I'll wait for the bungees to come in. I'll install them, and once I install them, we'll paint the bar up. I do have spare paint, but I don't think I have enough to cover the whole bar. Yeah, doesn't matter. As soon as we do that, we'll get cracking into the dual calipers, and I'll start stripping the rest of the interior. I actually bought a Torx bit set. I've never had them before, and all the seat bolts and everything, seat belt bolts are all Torx bits in these cars, so I can rip the whole interior out and start gutting it, making it a little bit lighter, because we're going to add side intrusion bars like I said before. So there's a brief overview of what's going on, what's been happening with the AU drift car. We haven't drifted it in nearly a year already. That's crazy. I'm hanging to get out on track, and I can't freaking wait. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. All right, so I've just roughly marked where we're going to slice the bar shorter. So I've got my VP Commodore lowering kit just here with me. Pull this bar off and we'll snip it down. The good thing about fiberglass is once we do the cut, we can actually just sand it down, you know, shape it, all that stuff later on. So it'll probably push back a lot more because it's hitting both the tires now. Yeah. All right, we'll do the same on the other side. And Bob's your only. We're much closer now. This is sort of sitting down, there we go. Sitting up like that. We just got to shave a little bit more off there, and then probably just try and shape that a little bit. It's not too bad. We'll shape it up, and then there's a metal clip here. I've got to tap back just from the honeycomb mesh there. And then once we get that, it should be all right, as long as the wheel clears full lock. But yeah, it still needs to push in here a little bit more. It's a bit hard because I got it, because the car's so low, even the jack on the lower settings pushing the bar up. So it's sort of got a gap here. But I think once we, I'm gonna slice inside the guard. There's like a little, well, this tab that comes out. I'm gonna slice it back. That way the bar will pull in a bit more. And then yeah, once the drift bunge is on there, I wanna see how it sits in the middle. There's gonna be a little bit of a gap under the bottom of the headlights. All the chaser bars are like that too. There'll be a bit of a gap there, but once the bar's actually silver, it won't be as noticeable. Starting to look like a JDM AU now. Now the Tickford kit's actually starting to look a lot more basic compared to the front bar. So I'll probably have to get a bigger kit for it. More aggressive kit, maybe some D-Max skirts and make them fit. That'd be cool. Oh, I really love the look of this. I don't know how it's coming across on camera. It just looks aggressive as hell. All right, guys, so a bit of time's gone past and I've just been massaging it. And I've got it to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. So you can see it's almost meeting there. I just got to do all the bunging and shit like that, and then this is all loose here, so I've just got to fiberglass repair the end here, but I might actually snip it a little bit more. It's fitting much nicer under the headlight there. If we come around to this side, similar thing. That's actually almost spot on there. It can go back a little bit more. I have snipped inside the guard here. I can probably go a little bit more. If I do a little bit of massaging and trimming here and there, I can get the bar to fit on a lot nicer. Now I've got it on the jack at the bottom. It does fit over the Rio and this point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a pool noodle, cut it, and then that's gonna slip over a bit more and have some sponge to it, so it sort of pushes it under the headlights, and figure out a way to wire those headlights, because I want this to be a quick release, you know, getting on and off the trailer, shit like that. Want to jack it up, pop it off really easily. So I wouldn't mind just running the wires up in here or something, just so they have easy, quick disconnects on them when I do the drive lights, and I wire them up to the Parkers. Now I did look at the bonnet pin kit, and it has where you put the actual top bit on, you got to rivet them into the bonnet. I haven't got a rivet gun, so I've ordered one of those, so I'll probably do them in a few days. So we'll come back when we finesse this bar a little bit more, and we'll start on the dual calipers. I'm really excited. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the next day. It's actually 2 days later, and now that I have the bumper bar sitting on the front much better than I thought, we're going to tackle the dual calipers now. I'll quickly explain what I'm going to do right before I jump into it. So these are two other backing plates I got from the wreckers, and 2 sets of PBR rear calipers that I got from the wreckers too. These are actually really expensive. They're like 30 bucks each at wreckers now. I don't know why calipers are so expensive. They used to be like $10, $15 for 2. And then 2 backing plates. So you can see we got to slice them in half, piss this side off, and then these 2 caliper bracket mounts is where our caliper is going to bolt on the other side. So we've already got the set that's currently on the car, and then when we slice them in half, perfectly even, so that we can get a couple of tack welds on it, clean it up, tack it, and that should give us a nice solid dual caliper bracket on a budget. So I've never done this before, but on my R31 here I have the dual calipers as well. We can't see them, but I've got twin VS Commodore calipers on this car with an RB factory mount kit. So that was a bolt-on kit, where this one we're gonna make it ourselves. And over here we have some lines. I've had these for years, these lines. They're GK Tech Hydro lines. So this one that I'm holding now will actually go up into the car, and then these two go to your calipers. Now they've just got some standard fittings on there, so I'm gonna have to adapt some fittings to run to the AU banjos. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna go to the wreckers and rob the rear brake lines. A lot of people, what they do is they get the rear brake lines from the AU that run all the way to the master, and they'll snip them and then sort of tap a hydro into it, which is probably the cheapest and easiest way. But because I already have these GK Tech lines, I'll probably implement something that's gonna mate up to these lines with the calipers. And because it's already got a T-piece and everything, it makes my life a bit easier. And then we can just, yeah, make our own line that goes from this to the hydro. But you know, it might change over time, who knows, depending on what I wanna go. But I've got this already, so I might make it work. But for now, I'm gonna focus on getting these all mounted and welded up. So I'm gonna jack the car up, get the wheel off and pull the axle and everything out, and get the backing plates off and start measuring. Okay guys, so we got it to a point where we've jacked the vehicle up. The jack's down under the frame rail there and the jack holding it as well. I do like to jack it one side at a time because we're gonna be taking the axle out. You want all the oil to sort of fall that side of the diff and not come out, but I've got a towel under here just in case. Two 15mm bolts to pop this caliper off. Make sure your handbrake's off, otherwise it won't come off. Make sure your car is chocked as well. You don't want it rolling on you. And then you wanna just pull this caliper off. Sometimes you gotta give them a bit of a tap. Sit it on the control arm so it's not hanging on the brake line. And then these discs sometimes can be a bit of a pain because they got the drum handbrake, so you just got to work it off a bit like that, like that. It's trying to bring the bloody this off with it. Yeah, so you got a big hole here. You just want to rotate this and line it all up. The corresponding bolts. If you want to know how to do all this, guys, I've done a video a while ago on my E-series, my old E-series, how to change a diff in one of these. Easiest things ever to do diffs, and swap them over. All right, so we've got those 4 bolts out now. They're just these 8mm Allens, and if you're doing it for the first time, these are sometimes really hard to get off, and a lot of people snap Allens and stuff like that. Just take your time. Sometimes a bit of heat works, if not back and forth, back and forth. So I remember the first time I tried to get these axle bolts out, they were so stuck. One thing I didn't realize before is that because the other wheel was touching, because it's a locker, I couldn't rotate the axle, so I just had to jack up the other side, and so it allows me to rotate the wheels. Chuck you guys on the ground. There we go. And good, no oil. So jacking it and leaning it that side makes a big difference. So this is what we want to get to. So on the back of the dust cover, there's a 8mm, I think it's an 8mm bolt for the wheel speed sensor. Take these dust cover bolts off, we don't need this shit anyway. So we're gonna do a couple of measurements before I start cutting, just to make sure it all is gonna line up. Even though it is a budget track car, I just wanna make sure I do it properly. All right, there's our backing plate. All right, so what I've opted to do is, the first line was a little bit over, but the second line I got it bang on, and then I matched it on the straight edge to the bottom to get that as close to the center as I can. So I'm gonna leave it bolted on the car because I can grind it. I haven't got a bench vise or anything. So I'll just snug up 2 of the 4 bolts just to hold it while we grind it. And then when I get to right near the end, I'm gonna back off and I can snip the rest off when it's on the floor because I don't wanna nick that bearing, that outer bearing shell with the grinder. As long as we follow that line, we should be good. I've just shoved the rag inside the axle so no swarf or anything goes in. And then when we pull it out, it should pull anything out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the top one, I'm gonna take it off, flip it over, and then I'll slice the other bottom bit from the top. So we'll see how we go. All right, that worked out pretty well. So I actually ended up spacing behind there with another bolt. I don't even see it. Right there, space a bolt behind it. And it brings it out enough that I can actually snip straight through it without harming anything behind it. I'm gonna take it out, flip it over and grind it again and then do the same thing with the other one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have cut one of them up. I'm pretty happy with the top cut. It looks pretty close. The bottom one's a little bit separated, but you can see we've got the bolts in now to line it all up. So yeah, it's gonna work. With this one, I might have to just fill a bit of weld just to tack the bottom, but this one I'll clean up and weld nicely. So I'm gonna wait till I have the axle actually bolted all in so it's all flat, and then I'll put a couple of tacks on it later. But yeah, we got 2 of the backing plates done. Yeah, I might sit the calipers on it and see how it looks. All right, guys and girls, a little bit of time has gone past now, and I've put it all together, put the rotor back on, put the calipers on, and gave them a lick of paint. And look at that. Freaking awesome. It was one of the easiest dual caliper conversion things I've ever done. Honestly. So I just put a lick of paint over them while the actual rotor was off, and I just had the brackets on the mounts, cleaned it up, and yeah, it looks so good. So it's currently like 4 PM, it's gonna get dark in like an hour. I'm gonna smash that other side out as quick as I can. Yeah, hopefully get them both done today. I'm really, really happy with that, honestly. All right, I'm gonna smash the other side out. All right guys, it's the next day since those clips, and dual calipers are looking beautiful in there. They look so good. I'm really happy with how they came out. Today I'm just mucking around on the front, sort of just taking my time at the moment. You can see where we've got the bar sitting at the moment. So I've got it pretty much where I want it, near the guard. Might have to just snip a little bit, but you can see underneath the headlights we've got a little bit, I've cut a little bit of pool noodle to slip over the Rio, and that's sort of done the trick, but you can sort of see it behind this. I have to paint it black or just shorten them. And then this side as well, it's sort of sitting down, but I've got the jack on the front. So what I'm gonna do is our Rio, so before we own the car, it's been in a front end, just a bingle. So I'm gonna build something off the Rio, like an L bracket or something, and sit it under the front of the bar with a bit of pool noodle as well, just to support it. And that'll be our like mid support. That way when we slide the bar and it goes on the same every time, it doesn't change position. And with the two pool noodles over there on each side, it should slide on and sit the same way every time. I'm still waiting for the drift retainers. I have messaged the place because I ordered them on the 3rd, and it's like the what's the date now, 26th. So hopefully they come soon so I can put our drift fasteners here. So today I was supposed to go to Autobarn and grab meteorite paint for this, as well as some clear, but I woke up too late and I can't be bothered. But in the meantime, while I do the fiberglass, I think I'm gonna start actually gutting the rest of this interior. Now, it's bloody dark in here. I'll put this door up. I don't know how bad the wind's gonna be, but say hi to the Skyline. Skyline's living out the back at the moment. Turn these lights off so it doesn't give you guys epilepsy, but. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna rip all the carpet out now that I've got Torx bits and the rear door cards. So I'll pull the seats out. I really want to keep the center console in there, but there's really no point. In the back, I'm gonna piss all of this parcel shelf off and get rid of all of this crap. And I just want nothing in here but the cage and the seats. Yeah, I'm just picking up this car the next few days, just taking my time with it, no rush. I'm on holidays now, so I don't give a shit. All right, guys, it is the next day since the last clips, and I've got the car back in the center with the bumper bar sitting on there very roughly. But yesterday, it got dark really quickly, so I just sent it and stripped the whole interior. I didn't want to film it because it was pretty boring just pulling the interior out, but this is all that came out. So this is all the plastics. We got the center console, we got the parcel shelf, we got the headlining, which I had to cut into two because of the roll cage, but it was buggered anyway, and the carpet. So if we have a look inside now, it is completely stripped. Everything's pretty stripped now. Just the seats and the roll cage. I still got to take the rear door cards and stuff off, but for now, pretty good. Sorry about the construction noise. All I've been hearing all day is beeping. Have a look inside. It's all gutted now, which is fantastic. So what I'm gonna do now that we've stripped the interior, I'm going to do the bonnet pins, because our rivet gun came literally 10 minutes ago. So I've got to figure out where I'm gonna actually have it go. So you got to actually rivet these top bits in, and then what I was thinking is we want a firm point on the chassis to put them in. So I was thinking maybe going under here is quite thick, but this lip here, if we drill in this lip, we should be able to get it through there on the rad support. And then it'll come through sort of, we don't want it to go up on this hump, we sort of want it to stay around this general area. So somewhere around here, that should be perfect, I think. Somewhere there. The bonnet has a lot of curvature to it, so we want to make sure it's all flat. It's the first time I've ever installed bonnet pins. So yeah, we're gonna find a reference point on the, and make sure nothing's under there, no wiring or anything's under there. I've pulled everything out. It was just this, I don't even know what that was for, but I pulled that out the way, so it's just the metal itself. And then I've got a step drill, so we can drill through that. And then what you do is you put one of these posts, through, so that's gonna go through the rad support here somewhere. And then you dab a bit of grease on the top of it, put the bonnet down, and wherever it touches on the bonnet, that's where you drill up through. So yeah, hopefully we get it the first go. So I'm just gonna do one, and then we'll measure it, and then we'll go on the other side and measure it to that side. That way we have the same reference. And yeah, it should be good. All right, so I did one. I just wanted to make sure it was all good before I show you guys. I've never done it before, but yeah, it seems to be okay. Just pull these out. It's all loose at the moment, but the good thing about it is I have 2 reference points, so it's perfect. You can do these going straight up and down or across. I like the across look. I've got to do this side now, reference it to that side. The good thing is on the rad support, I'll pop this off and show you. So I've decided to go into this hole here. This hole is the little clip that holds the bonnet cable on. The good thing is they're in the exact same spot on each side, so I'm going to tap into there. That way I've got the same reference on either side. They'll go through the same point of the bonnet. And yeah, I literally just dabbed a little bit of this marine wheel bearing grease on the top, and that gave us our reference to drill the hole up through there. So I had to drill 2 holes, one there, another one up the top. Okay, so this is the hole we're going to be drilling out here, making sure nothing's under it or behind it. I don't want to drill too much. I got a bit of grease on the drill just so it doesn't get too hot. But I don't want to go too much, just enough to get that stud through. This stud through the support, it'll be enough to reference it to the other one, because the other one's sitting where I want it to be. And we can match it to that one and drill it to the bonnet. That should be enough. Yep, perfect. Still want heaps of meat on that lip. Before we install this properly, I'm just gonna run a little bit of etch primer just through that hole, just so it doesn't rust later on. I'm just making sure that they're both sort of in line. They're gonna have a bit of a forward lean, because that's what the rad support is sort of naturally doing. Now what I'm gonna do is get some of that marine grease and dab a little bit on the top. You don't need much, just a reference point. So this is ideally wet. You don't want them too high up, because when you close the bonnet, it's going to hinge down on it, and you don't want to make your hole too big. So what we'll do is, yeah, literally, that one should just feed into that side. So you see it's touching, beautiful. There's the grease mark there, but I want to tap it a couple times, so we get a nice grease blob. There we go, nice. So we can drill right through there. First hole's drilled. And then we've got a little reference point. So I just put a little bit more grease on the pin, on the actual, the stud. And then we went up through that first bit of skin that touched the top. And then I drilled just like a pilot hole through the top. And then if we watch through the hole, you can see the grease on the pin there. So we've actually met up with it, which is good. And it looks like we've sort of met pretty central with it too, which is good. And there we go, 2 bonnet pins done. Not really, I still got to rivet the top bits on, but that's pretty much how they're gonna look. They're still sort of all loosely in there, but the bonnet's sitting pretty nicely down. It is latched in, so eventually I'm going to remove the latch, and then these will just hold the bonnet down. Yeah, very cool. That looks pretty sick. Yeah, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna try and get these nice and square, and then I'm just gonna do some Sharpie references, and then it'll be nice and flush and safe. We want it safe. We don't want this friggin' bonnet flying up, because it does weigh a lot. Guys, it's been a couple of weeks since the last clips, and we're back working on the car. And I've been tinkering a little bit off camera the last couple of weeks. I haven't really filmed much, but we actually have the bar mounted and sitting on there. Look how sick that looks. I'm really happy with how that came out. That's the final look how it's gonna sit. Yeah, I'm freaking over the moon. You can see we've got the drift bungees and that. I've done a little bit off camera just with all the mounts and stuff. I'll show you in a minute. So I haven't really been filming my little bits and pieces during the week. I'm still on holidays from work, but the last thing we did was the bonnet pins, which look fantastic. So the car's pretty much just been sitting out in the rain since then. But yeah, I've just done a few bits and pieces, but I'm happy to have the bar mounted. I did order the drift bungees a while ago. They didn't come in, they got lost in the mail, so I had to order another set, and they come in the other day. So like an anodized blue. They sort of sit a bit funky, but I could only get them on this point of the guard, because there's like a bracket behind here that runs behind here. So this was the only sort of area I could get it behind there and on there, but it sits really nice up against the guard. And on this side as well, I'm really happy with the fitment, and we cut it perfect to sort of match. I can clean that up a little bit later. I can pop the grill off. Sorry, it's a bit dusty, but I have actually painted the rad support, and I don't know if you can see, I've actually welded a tab on here, a nice steel tab, and then I've got actually pull noodle under there, which is supporting that. It's cable tie. I've got 2 pull noodles. I'll pull the bar off actually, and I'll show you guys. So now we can pull the front bar off, and I'll show you guys what we've been doing. You can see my little pull noodles. Looks like a bash bar from Wish. So I've zip tied pull noodles. So I drilled a hole through them and zip tied them on each end, so it holds them up on this side of the rad support. And on our little bracket we've welded on the top here, I've also drilled 2 holes straight through that bracket and zip tied that on there, so it just holds the bar up perfectly. Because my front smash bar's been hit, I had to sort of hammer that down and weld that in. Now I had to do a lot of cutting in here. Probably see I had to, this used to continue all the way down here. I had to snip under the headlight, snip under here, so the bar would sort of curve and then catch there, so I could pull the drift bungee and hold it nice and flush up against the side of the car there. So that's all good. Now I also have this green tint that we brought, so it's going to be going on the fog lights here to make the green-eyed monster. So I can't wait to vinyl wrap them in the green. Hopefully it's the shade of green I want. It's like in there, it's sort of a dark green, but yeah, that should look pretty sick on the 400R bar. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the AU close to that side. I'm going to set up my little panel stand, sit the bar on it, do a little bit of fiberglassing, I'll quickly show you guys what I've been doing to the Skyline as well. I'm doing some work to the Skyline off camera. This is my R32. This had a bit of drift damage on this side, and it had all these hits, and I went legal street drifting one night, and I had a jack in the boot, and the jack tried to leave the quarter panel, so it left all these dents and crap like that. So I've just been working to repair it. Got high fill on it now, so I just got to rub it back where these little divots are. Probably put another coat or two over it, and we are good to go. But it's all nice and flat now. I've tapped it back and just a little bit of fine filler. When we went sliding, we popped the tire and it broke my skirt. It actually ripped that bit of the skirt into two pieces and it split it down there, but we've repaired it all. So I've got bog over the fiberglass repair that we've done, so it's all fiberglass here. Nice and solid again, same in here. It's all fiberglass with a little bit of filler. Just got to rub that back. Got a guide coat on it. And the 32 will be up and back on the road. All right, I've got the bar set up on my little stand here. I've got the heater on here because I just did the fiberglass in here. So I'm going to let that cure. I think it's already nice and hard now. Bring you guys back when we're putting some color on it. All right, we've given the bar a nice sand. We've just finished it off with 240 on the orbitable sander. Fuck, someone's doing a skid. Some VT Commodore just did the biggest skid. I'm gonna try and G him up. Oh, you can guys try to G the Commodore up to do another skid, but you didn't do one. So I've got the prep sole, so I'm just gonna go over it with some prep sole, clean it up, and then do another dry wipe over it and hit it with some color. I've got you guys on a bin because I haven't got a big tripod and it stinks. So I'm gonna try. It is bin night tonight, so let's wipe this down. Right, now that I've done that, I'm just gonna go over it with a dry cloth. I should just pick up any loose stuff that we didn't get before. I'm gonna shake this up for a bit. I've got the heater just over there if I pull you backwards. Got the heater just on the bar because it is the worst weather right now to paint. Always when we paint, just go very, very fine on the first coat. That's more than enough for our first coat. I really wish they stopped grinding next door because I can't even fucking shit. Well guys, it's not looking good. I hazed the color on, let it sit for a bit, it was all right. And then as soon as I went heavy, it's reacted all the way around. So it's, yeah, not good. Not good at all. Look at that. We're gonna have to sand all of this off and we're gonna have to prime it. I didn't think I'd have to because I thought they already had the primer on there, like the factory sort of primer they use, but yeah, and I've already gone through heaps of material, so I'm gonna have to get one more made up. It's irritating, very annoying. This is the fun stuff about painting. Oh well, my mistake, I should have primed it. This is gonna be a lot more work for me, but you live, you learn. Oh guys, it's good to showcase your mistakes sometimes, but there we are. That's pretty bad reaction all around. Luckily we didn't use all the paint, but I'm gonna have to get more made up. But that's why, yeah, it looked like it wasn't gonna react and then it just did. So whatever's under there, it's not very good. So I'm gonna have to prime over that, sand it all back, prime it again and paint it. So, oh well, it's part of it. But for now, I'm gonna continue on my R32 and repair or rub down our little repairs here. So I'll do that in the meantime. Well guys, it's the next day. I've had a coffee, I feel great. I've had a chicken wrap, ready to go. Slept on it, had to think about it. Got up this morning, sanded the whole bumper bar back, and went and got some new color made up, some more primer. And just before I primed the bar, and it's good, look at that. It come up really, really good. If you want to see what paints I'm using, I've got this stuff, this Acryl primer car. I've used this heaps on stuff. I actually used it on the 32 when I painted it. And this is the Meteorite Grey. I've got 3 cans. We'll come back when we start painting. So far so good. I can see at the top here there's a little bit of reaction here. So I'm gonna just let it dry off and just see how bad it is. I might have to just reprime there and then paint over that. That's okay. The rest of it seems to be all good. Looking really good, looking meteorite. That's what we want. Well guys, it's the next day. It's all finished. I just wanted to get it out of the way. I was running out of time yesterday. Car's here, it's all done. So now, without further ado, I'm gonna take it around the block and do a bit of a reveal for you guys. I think you're gonna like how it looks. Let's have a look. guys, what do you think? Holy crap, that has transformed the car so much. Oh my god, it looks so aggressive. In person it looks insane. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but it is so much more aggressive. Sorry about the wind, guys, but it is so much more aggressive, especially when you get down low like this. Holy shit, that looks insane. Far out, I'm really happy with that. It didn't react too much, thank God, when we let it dry off. It did react a little bit here, just there, and just down here. So, and there, that's the only places, so I can paint over that later. This bar is going to get absolutely annihilated, but with the bonnet pins, the front bar, oh my god, that looks so sick. I'm so excited. I did do a bit of pinstriping on the middle here, but some of it I had to take off because it started peeling off, so I've got to redo that. So once we get the stickers and decals on here, it's going to look so good. I'm so freaking excited, guys. The dual calipers look sick. Oh, they look so good. Oh man, I'm so over the moon with it, guys. You can tell how excited I am over an AU Falcon. I've never been this excited over an AU Falcon before. Oh my god. All right, well, I just did some B-rolls, took some TikTok video rolls and a few other photos for Instagram, so I'm going to take her back home. But holy shit, oh yeah, I forgot to say, I did the fog lights green. The tint wasn't the easiest to put on, but we got it on there. It's a bit bubbly, but oh well, it's track car. Can't wait to get those lights to actually light up. I'm going to wire them to a switch inside. Oh god, I hope you guys like it. I love it. The white wheels, the gold calipers, the gold cage, the decals, green-eyed monster. When we get the halos in the front headlights, it's going to look so good. Oh my god. It looks like a chaser. Oh shit. Oh guys, I'm so excited. Well, I do want to thank all of you guys for watching me through this journey with this car. There's so much more to come for it. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite platforms to drift on at the moment. I can't wait to get it back out there. I've only done 3 track days in it, so got to get it out more and have it reliable, so we can just keep turn the key and going hour after hour after hour. But I want to make the back look a bit more aggressive to complement the front now. Probably get some thicker skirts, because the Tickford kit is nice, but it's not as aggressive. I need a bigger wing, a riff wing. It does look cool that we gutted the whole interior now, so it's all out. So this is probably going to be a long video, guys. I do apologize, but you guys always say we want longer videos, so here you are. But the AU, I'm going to get out of this wind, guys, so I'm going to take the car back home now. There she is, the AU LTD-R33. All right, we're back home. So I've got the beasts in the garage behind me. They got rained on a little bit, so I'm going to give them a chamois after I finish filming with you guys here. But got the AU in the backyard. Look how freaking low the front looks on the gravel. Holy shit. So guys, I'm really happy with how this car's coming out. It's getting there, and I just want to have some more freaking seat time in it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to have that handbrake all done. That's going to be in the next video, as well as we'll put plugs and leads and everything in that video as well. We also need to do side intrusion bars, and then we're ready to rock and roll. I'll put the decals on it. I'll try and get that all done in the next video, so we're not dragging this out in too many parts and then go freaking drifting. But this front has really made this car, you know, if you look at this bumper bar, this shitty Fairlane bumper bar, it's crap. If anyone wants a Fairlane bar, let me know, I'll give it to you. Hopefully if you guys come out to the track one time on a Friday night drift, so I can take you out in passenger seat, because I'll have my intrusion bars and everything, and share the experience with you. So that's the main thing. Yeah, do you guys want a little bit of a shed update? If you don't know, I'm actually in the middle of building a shed. Big reason why I haven't uploaded a lot lately. Haven't really done much, doesn't look like it on camera, but I've gotten everything ready to do the foundation and get the slab all poured. So in the corners I have all the rebar measured out, and we laser leveled it off my alfresco slab. Okay, apologies, because in the middle of talking just then, the battery on my GoPro died, so I don't know how much of that I got. But this is going to be where the slab's going to go. So this is 4.5 wide by 6 meters long, and this is the sort of dimensions I have to go off for council rules. It's still going to go more into that corner. I'm just doing the drains at the moment. As you can see, I've relocated the pit at the back. Yeah, so I've just got some crushed rock on here. I've got to build it up. For God's sakes, that battery I just put in the GoPro was 55%. I started recording and it said powering off, battery low. So got the phone out. The wind noise might be worse on the phone, but I'll try and get through this. But here's all the crushed rock here. You'll probably see a bit better on phone. So it'll be enough for 2 cars at the back on their own, and then at the front we'll have like a working area. But at the moment the shed's going to be about 3 meters wide, and then we're going to extend it later because it's going to come close to the house. The rebar in the corners, and then 150 mil of concrete's going to go in there once we box it all up. And I just got to compact all this, but I have been fighting the weather so much. Just have a look here, how wet it is next to the Starjet. I've been off work for 4 weeks now. This is 4 weeks of work right here. I'm doing it all on my own, of course, but I had a buddy of mine come out and help me dig it out with a dingo. But yeah, so that's the shed update at the moment. So hopefully soon I'm gonna have it all boxed up. Then we'll get all the rebar put in and get ready for concrete. Just fighting weather, guys, and I'm back at work tomorrow after 4 weeks. So back to regular uploading and going nuts with the cars. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This has been really fun to make and I'm glad to see some progress on the drift car. Hope you guys like it, hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, ask me below, comment below. And I know it's been 4 weeks, it's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. So you all take care, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.